Shalom everyone, it's Kol Torah, Chanukah Sameach to everyone. And this week's Parsha is Parashat Vayigash. And in this Parsha, as we know, like in a good movie, there is a good ending to the movie. Last week's Parsha, we were in a turmoil of emotions and sadness and upsetness. Yosef meets his brothers and he makes it very tough on them and they don't make it easy on him. And in this week's Parsha, everything is pretty much happy. We see Judah, we see Yehuda willing to sit as a slave instead of Benjamin, instead of Binyamin. They show unity and everyone is pretty much happy. But there is a sentence, there is a verse, there is a pasuk here that I would like to focus on for this Kol Torah today. When Yosef decides that he can't do it anymore and he must reveal himself to his brothers, he says the following statement. Ani Yosef, I am Joseph. Ha'od avicha, is my father still alive? And when you look at this sentence and you look at this verse, you cannot not question and say, what's wrong with Yosef? Last week's Parsha, one of the repetitive questions that Yosef asked again and again and again is your father, talking to the brothers, meaning my father as well, is he still alive? Is he okay? And the report that he gets back is always, yes, he is old, but he's still alive. So what is the question? Especially when Judah gave him such a speech that if he will not allow Benjamin to come back to the land of Israel, then it will cause death to their father. So that applies that he is alive. So what does it mean that Yosef asked the question, is my father still alive? I would like to attempt to answer this question, but I think it will lead me to another question. But let's first go question by question. It seems to be in my mind that we can look at Yosef's question from at least two perspectives. The first perspective is, don't lie to me, brothers. You already lied many times. I know you. Tell me the truth. Is he still alive? Because really, the motivation for me, says Yosef, to reunite the family, to bring everyone together, is for my father. And I love him so deeply, and I love him so much, that I don't want to hurt him. But tell me the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I am Yosef. Tell me, is my father really still alive, or you are playing games with me? So that's one perspective, meaning he had so much doubt and he really did not believe his brothers that he just want to know for sure. That's first perspective. But there is a second perspective. That Yosef basically said it, is my father still alive, with amazement. And what do I mean by that? As we know, Yosef was the beloved son. As we read 2 weeks ago, he was the favorite one. Jacob did for him this special coat. He was treated differently. And Yosef just could not understand. How come? How come that my father, who loved me so much and he saw me as the leader who is going to lead the family, how can he still be alive when I'm gone? How can he continue on with his life when his favorite son, the leader of the family, is gone? He was amazed. It was not really a question. He knew he was alive, but he just could not comprehend the idea of how come that Yaakov can still be alive when Yosef is gone. In a way, it was a very cruel reality, in a way, to Yosef, that his father is still alive while his favorite son is gone. But now it's led me to another question. How can we explain that? How can we explain that Yaakov was still alive when his favorite son is gone? How can we understand that Yaakov had to go through such a trauma? He does not have a grave to go to. He didn't see a body. His beloved son at the age of 17 just disappeared. How can we understand that Yaakov was really still alive? I would like to suggest to you the following idea. I would just warn you that it's deeper than what I'm going to say, but we are just limited a little bit in time to expand on the concept, but I will present you the concept. In halakha, in Jewish law, we know that if God forbid someone lose a parent, the year of Aveilut, the year of mourning, is for 12 months. But it's not the case with a child, God forbid. If someone, God forbid, loses a child, he does not mourn for a year. It's more limited. And the question is, how can you do that? How can the Jewish law expect the parent who loses a child to mourn less than he loses a parent? To lose a child, God forbid, it's the most destructive thing. It's such a damaging thing. It's such a trauma. It's such a calamity. Such a terrible, sad thing. In a way, we will expect the Jewish law to demand or to advise that if someone, God forbid, loses a child, he will need to sit for 21 days and to mourn for 20 years. And the answer is very deep. It is true. God forbid to lose a child, it's against nature, and there are no words to comfort someone who loses a child. But at the same time, the Jewish law understands human beings and human minds and says, look, if you will continue on to mourn for that child, what will be with the other children that are alive? What about the future? We know that we will not be able to cure this terrible, terrible disaster of losing a child, but we must help you, the parent, to continue on to take care of the other children and yourself in order to create future. There is no benefit of mourning for 24 months. It's not about a popularity contest, who is more beloved, the parent or the child. There is a different outlook. And Yaakov, in a way, I think, teaches us the same idea. Yaakov was devastated. When he heard that Joseph disappeared, the entire world, in a way, collapsed on him. But he looked around and he saw there are other children and they need him. And he needs them. The future in their hands. Joseph is gone, he can't do anything about it. He didn't ask so much the why question. He asked, how can I move on from here? And I think that this concept is very much appropriate for all of us, especially after the terrible, terrible calamity that we experienced in Israel with the terrible fire that caused 43 people to die, to burn alive. We can't ask the why. We cannot understand. There is no way to justify. But we must continue on to build, to comfort the families, and to help them build from the ruins, to build from ashes, and to again bloom their lives and flourish their lives and accomplishments. It's a tough road, it's a tough path to go. But this is what Yaakov is teaching us, and in a way Yosef realizes it. Yes, Yosef, you are very important, but nevertheless, the power and the ability to lead is something that you share with the other brothers as well. Chanukah Sameach to all of you, and we will talk again soon.